Hello, everybody. This is Walrus McFish Sr., and we're here with something a little bit different today. We're going to play some NetHack. And let me tell you about NetHack. NetHack is like one of my favorite, best games ever. Seriously. It's a really good game. I've been playing it for basically as long as I can remember. Let me give you a brief history about my time with NetHack. So, my dad played NetHack, and when I was growing up, I always saw him play NetHack, and then I would play myself. I was always pretty bad as a stupid kid, especially when there's no internet back then. But I used to play it. The best I ever did back then was I had a wizard who made it all the way to almost the end of the game, but he didn't make it. And then, it's the sort of thing where it's like I gave it up, and then, it's definitely the sort of game that calls you back, even now that I've been playing so much Dungeon Crawl. I'm like, man, I should play some NetHack. And so I've been playing it more recently, and actually just now I've had some good luck. Or maybe I've improved a little bit or learned something, and I had one character, a Valkyrie, who made it all the way to the end of the game, made it all the way to the astral plane, and then I sacrificed the Amulet of Yendor on the wrong god's altar. It was 3:30 in the morning. I was so exhausted. I saw it. In my defense, it said it was an aligned altar. And so I assumed it meant that it was aligned with me, but I guess not. And so I felt a lot of emotions right there that were just sort of difficult to put into words. It's like I did it very deliberately. Like I marched right up to the wrong altar and sacrificed the MacGuffin. So I felt like I sort of did it. Like I did what I needed to do. Like I could have gone to the other altar if only I had known. But of course, the game isn't afraid to let you know that you have not ascended. You have escaped the dungeon in celestial disgrace. So I didn't exactly get a good night's sleep that night. Anyway, enough jabber. Let's actually get to playing this game. So I thought I'd try to make a video. Maybe I can redeem myself. Wouldn't it be totally legit if we actually had a win on YouTube? That'd be crazy, right? I don't know what the odds of that are, but it's not very good. But I'll give it a shot anyway. I had at least one request for this. So who are you? I like that. It just sort of comes right at you. Who are you? And I am Beauregard. Is a great name. Shall I pick character for you? Now we're going to pick our own character because there's lots of cool characters. You can see all the cool characters you can play as in NetHack. This is archaeologist, Indiana Jones type. Barbarian is, Conan the Barbarian type. Caveman, healer, knight, monk, priest or priestess. Rogue, ranger, samurai, tourist, wizard, or Valkyrie. All pretty cool choices. I want to do a priest, though. And I'll tell you why. Is not the easiest race by any means, or the easiest class. In fact, some people would consider it to be among the hardest. But it does have the ability to see whether things are blessed or uncursed or cursed. And that's a very important part of this game, and it's also one of the most annoying parts of this game. So I thought, maybe if I'm going to play this on YouTube, let's just try to forego as much of the annoying parts as possible. Because there are some annoying parts about NetHack. We'll see that as we go. But, being able to tell if something is cursed or uncursed or not, it might mean that we die sooner, but maybe if we're careful, it just means it'll be more of a challenge, and eventually we'll appreciate the fact that we don't have to worry about that. And we're going to be a human, because elves suck. Nobody likes elves. We're going to be a proper human male named Beauregard, I guess. And you can be lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Sometimes that's limited by your class and race choices, but I'm going to go with neutral. I like neutral. I like neutral in this game. All the good stuff is neutral. And, stuff happening, explaining something. Guidebook. Let's look at the story. It is written in the book of Bridget. After the creation, the cruel god Moloch rebelled against the authority of Marduk, the creator. Moloch stole from Marduk the most powerful of all the artifacts of the gods, the Amulet of Yendor, and he hid it in the dark cavities of Gehenna, the underworld, where he now lurks and bides his time. Your goddess Bridget seeks to possess the amulet, and with it to gain deserved descendants over the other gods. Nice. Yeah, I can get behind that. Go Bridget. You, a newly trained aspirant, have been heralded from birth as the instrument of Bridget. You are destined to recover the amulet for your deity, or die in the attempt. Your hour of destiny has come. For the sake of us all, go bravely with Bridget. Bravely with Bridget. You can put that on a poster. I'll buy one. And here we are. Alright, so, if you're familiar with roguelikes, probably you know this game, and I've just been explaining it too much, but this is sort of like the precursor to Dungeon Crawl. It's cool in a lot of ways. It's different from Dungeon Crawl. You can see here we are in that corner over there. There's a rat standing next to me. That D right there is my pet dog, who's pretty cool. We should name our dog something cool right away so we get emotionally attached to him. I'm going to go and name our dog Call the little dog. How about Brutus? Great name for a dog. Hopefully the dog will help us out quite a bit. Normally you're playing a character, you can use him to like test your stuff for curses, but that's part of the annoying part of the game I was talking about. You have to wait if your dog walks over it. You can tell if it's cursed or not. So I guess we're going to start right off, turn off auto pickup, and attack this rat, and hopefully not die to the very first rat in the game, but I think we're going to be good, especially if our dog on our side. Sewer rat. Yeah, okay, uh-oh, sewer rat gets the first blood, but we got the sewer rat. Nice. Brutus picked up a pair of padded gloves. That's fine. We could have told if it was uncursed or not. Let's put them on. Sure, why not? Padded gloves, what's it all about? Yeah, it's just a +0 pair of padded gloves. I don't think it's doing anything for us right now. It might just be regular gloves, but you're not going to say no to armor that you just randomly find. Hey, look, that crosses a spell book right there. One reason I wanted to play as a priest too is because playing as a Valkyrie, you didn't have many chances to cast any spells. I didn't cast any spells all game. So being able to cast some spells, even if it's just sort of like, support spells like Remove Curse or Magic Mapping or something, is going to make our life a lot more fun. So let's see what spells we have already. We have Create Monster and Detect Monster, which are Clerical and Divination. Those are, the priestly type magical spells that we're going to learn. We're not going to be casting like any sort of magic missiles or anything, probably, because that's a little bit outside of our purview. We're priests, men of God here, men of Bridget. What's this, though? It's a ragged spellbook. Okay, well, we can probably read that later, but let's clear out the floor first. And as we go, we'll just randomly cast these spells to probably just get them better. Like, we could try to cast Detect Monsters right now. Sure, why not? What do we see? Uh-oh, it's a newt up there. Better be careful. We don't want to get killed by a newt. Yeah, by the way, we have a mace, which we're using right now. Also a robe, which lets us cast spells better. A shield, which is nice. Gloves, which we just found. Garlic and Wolfsbane for priest-related exorcism emergencies. And then a couple of spell books. And some holy water. And holy water is really useful. It's the newt. Get him! Well, we didn't get a newt corpse. If you eat newt corpses, that's kind of a good thing. Gets you a little bit of extra magic. See, I'm all like turned on to NetHack right now. I know all the ins and outs. I've been studying up. I've been playing. So, I'm just spouting trivia at you. If this is the first time you ever played, it's a little bit overwhelming. Oh, do this, don't do this, eat the newt corpse, don't do this or you're going to die. And there's a lot of those rules in NetHack. I think that's kind of the point of the game, even more so than Dungeon Crawl. It's supposed to be a little bit of trial and error. I don't know. I mean, just playing this game completely unspoiled, I'm not sure how much of a chance I would have stood. Because, as I told you, I always had my dad growing up, he was sort of my mentor playing this game. And so I sort of I learned the ropes from him, I learned all the basic stuff, what to do, the basic aspects of Dungeon Crawl. You'll notice you have to search for hidden doors sometimes. Like if you feel like there's more stuff in a level that you haven't found yet, you can just search around for it, which is kind of interesting. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, but it sort of adds to the uncertainty a little bit. Like maybe you didn't quite find everything. Like you said, yeah, there's another door over here. Definitely looked like it. Okay, it's locked, so we obviously have to kick it down. Yeah, like if you didn't know how to play this game, you'd have to learn quite a bit. You have to read the instruction manual. It's like, oh, locked door. What am I supposed to do about that? Obviously, you're supposed to kick it. We killed the newt. There's a grid bug coming at us, that little purple X. Yeah, don't eat the newt corpse, Brutus. Brutus! Betrayed me. This is a fountain right here. Fountains are a little bit of a newbie sucker trap. You can quaff from the fountains, and sometimes a demon will come out and give you a wish, which is about the best thing that can happen. But the odds of that are quite low, and it's much more likely that the demon's going to come out and just kill you. Or maybe some snakes will come out or something. There's some nasty stuff that can happen from, oh, here we go, another little door over here. A lot of things that can happen from a fountain. By the way, how's our stats look? Our stats are okay. Our wisdom is up at 18, which is what we need for spell casting, so that's kind of cool. Our strength is like okay. Our constitution is pretty good. I'm happy about that. Hopefully our stats will go up generally as we go. And okay, here's a sink. A sink is a little bit more of an interesting find. A tin is also interesting. Could be good stuff in there. We'll open that up later when we need to eat. A chest, which was locked, so obviously we're just going to kick that open as well. Eventually we can have more elegant ways to open up these locks, but not right now. Take something out. What do we got? Whoa, way more spell books, and also food and rings. We know that they're not cursed. We might as well just take all this until we start to become encumbered. Yeah, there is encumbrance in this game. That's why we want to make sure our strength is pretty good. And we'll drop the stuff we don't need and whatever else. We'll figure out ways to deal with that. We'll just put on that clay ring. Hey, gave us a little bit more strength. What do you know about that? Now we can haul around even more random stuff. And a whole bunch of spell books. That black gem could be worthless or it could be not, but we did kick it around a lot in this chest and it didn't break, so it's pretty likely to be legit. Let's read one of these other spell books and see what happens. Okay, I learned Force Bolt. Fine, that's pretty cool actually. That's a cool spell to know. It is an attack spell, but that's good, right? We can attack things from a distance if we need to. We don't have to worry about darts or anything. We can throw our own magical darts, maybe break down some doors or whatever else. That's pretty neat. I'm glad I read it. What else we got? It was just too much to comprehend. Okay, so sometimes the spellbooks are pretty high level and it does some nasty stuff like paralyze you or confuse you. That's why I waited until the end of the level to do that, just in case I landed next to like a monster or something like that. So I'm going to just call this high level. Because I don't know what it is yet. Yeah, I'm confused and I don't know what it is. And it crumbled to dust, so we don't even get another chance to look at it. Maybe we'll get another crack at it later. I'll read this one too. Nope. Yep. Oh, and the newt. Oh, that's why you're also glad that you got Brutus on patrol here. Thank you, Brutus. Alright, so this one is pretty high level too. We'll hang on to this. Maybe we can read it a little bit later. But here we got a sink. What do you do about a sink? You can drink it, but that's going to do some weird stuff to you sometimes, including polymorph you into weird forms. You can get mutated into weird monsters. You can basically turn into any monster in the game. So I'm going to kick it instead. Oh, and this happened right away. This is probably a bad idea, actually, now that I think about it. There's a dishwasher here. Alright, mild sexual innuendo in this game. This is a succubus. So, this is a demon who is going to try to seduce us. And depending on our intelligence and our charisma score, it's going to have a negative or a positive effect on us. It's more likely to have a positive effect than a negative effect right now, but our charisma and our intelligence is not that great. So we'll see. Alright, you want to seduce me, dishwasher? Yeah, let's see. We're going to roll the dice here. Hope we get lucky. This is a little scummy. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this because it's too dangerous. Yep, succubus is going to take off my clothes. Look away. Shall I remove your robe? Alright, well, we do have a little bit of a choice in the matter, but yes, we might as well. Take off your gloves, take off your shield. Time stands still while you and the succubus lie in each other's arms. How romantic. I seem to have enjoyed it more than the succubus. Yes! The contest. Sex is a contest, and we won. That was a very educational experience. You feel more experienced? We made it to experience level 2. That was pretty cool. Alright, and we don't even have to pay or anything because we're so poor. That's good. Let's maybe not press our luck with that anymore because that was pretty good. We'll put on all our armor and then we'll head just down to the next level because I think we've done pretty much everything that we're going to do here. Cool, alright, we got our trusty dog, Brutus the dog, coming along with us to make sure that we can get out of any tight spots. Alright, the door is locked. We could wham that down with the force bolt if we wanted to. Let's try to make sure that we're casting detect monsters every so often just so we can work up our skills. And create monsters interesting too. We could try that to like create some monsters later if we wanted to. Okay, it's an acid blob. It's among the least dangerous monsters in the game. It can't actually directly attack you. But it does have like a passive acid attack which can be corrosive. Copper spellbook, new kind of spellbook. So again, we'll read that at the end of this floor. Just, you know, probably the smarter thing to do is just wait until you've identified them to read them, but I'm a little too impatient for that. If I were more patient, I would be better at this game, but I'm not. A couple of cool scrolls, yeah, we'll read those right away too, because I just can't help myself. You find all sorts of neat stuff in these roguelike games. You know, I gotta read them. Some of them will be good, some of them will be going to be bad. But it's better to identify the bad ones as early as you can, basically. That's my philosophy. Starting to get a little hungry. Alright, we have another scroll of See some graffiti here written in the floor that says Musa hath charm to aft the stubborn drawbridge. I imagine it's talking about the drawbridge of the castle, which we'll see later. Maybe, probably not, if we make it that far. You can use music to let down the drawbridge. Maybe. Sorry if I'm giving you lots of rampant spoilers here, you know, I mean, that's the thing about this game. You can't play this game effectively unless you're massively spoilered. And you can watch other people play this game who are much, much better than I am, you know. I'm total scrub tier NetHack. So, I'm just scraping my way by. This is like the bare minimum information that you need to know to win this game. Hey, look, alright, there's 2 staircases going down. What does that mean for us? Well, we should go and check them out. You, dog, step aside for a minute. I'm going to look at this myself. Alright, yeah, this is where we want to go. Alright, so this is the way down to the normal dungeon. If we continue down to that other staircase, it leads down to the Gnomish Mines, which is a pretty fun place to go. We are going to go there eventually. It is practically required. Not really, but, you know, it's a good place to go, definitely. We'll check it out after a few levels, but I'm gonna hold off on that for just a minute here. Here's a brown mold. It's pretty harmless, except that it can make us very cold. Yeah, see, it took away half our life just by making us cold, because we hit a cold mold. Dog, can you deal with this? Excuse me. Man, I haven't recorded in a while. I know it's been like a week since I've been recording. Alright, well, we do need some food of some kind, so let's go ahead and just open up that tin. Smells like jackals. Fine, yeah, I'll eat the jackals. Tin jackals. Boiled jackals. Delicious. Dog, can you eat the... Can you chomp on that mold over there? Or does that just not have a cost-benefit analysis for you? He wouldn't eat that corpse. And we're weak again. Alright, we'll finish kicking down this door, and then we'll just eat a food ration. Don't want to die of starvation in a playthrough like this. Alright, we got a regular potion of water. Nothing compared to our potion of holy water. It's, you know, the worst version of that, obviously. But if we found an altar at some point, we might be able to pray for that and cause it to become holy water. That'd be neat. The more holy water, the better. Oh, yes, a new corpse. Come on. All right, let's get lucky here. Not like it matters too much now that we have 28 power, but we'll eat this new corpse. Finish eating the new corpse. No buzz. If it says you get a buzz, that's what you want from eating new corpse. That's what I want from eating new corpses, personally. You know, I'm in it for the buzz. It used to be more intense, but now you just sort of feel a mild buzz. All right, we found a shop of some kind. It's Guibara's secondhand bookstore with a lot of scrolls in here. So we'll probably read our scrolls first, just to see what we got, and then we'll go and check out that shop in a minute. Loot in here, nothing though, it's an empty chest. Alright, that yellow mold causes us to become awfully confused, and we don't want to eat that corpse necessarily either, or it will stun us again. Alright. Yeah, Brutus carrying it around because he's a funny guy. Get used to that, Brutus, because we're going to need your help in the shop, and you'll see why in a second. What do we got, though, in terms of our inventory, though? What have we found? Let's take stock of the situation. Brutus, get away from me for a second, because I'm going to read a scroll, and I don't know what it's going to do. Let's read the one that we have two of first, I guess. Disappears. It was a scroll of amnesia, so that's exactly what I was talking about when I said that was one of the nasty ones that we want to get out of the way first. Scroll of amnesia is the most annoying scroll in the game, definitely. It basically makes you forget a lot of your stuff. So it's like we remember some of it, but we also forgot like the maps. We're probably going to forget some of the maps in those upper levels as well and have to re-explore it. That's fine though. Better that it happened now than much, much later. And, you know, we didn't forget about amnesia, so, you know. And you might be saying, oh, we'll drop that worthless scroll. Yeah, we will do that, but we'd rather actually keep it around so we can make it into a blank scroll later. You can keep around your trashy scrolls and potions in this game and then eventually turn them into just blank ones, potions of water and blank scrolls, and use them to good effect later. We could also read, well, let's read this other scroll, if this dog is not next to me. I just don't want to endanger you, dog. Dog, it's for your own good. Read S. My robe glows silver. Okay, that's kind of neat. I got a better robe now. You can see it's now a +1 robe, which is good. That lowered my armor class by 1. For some reason, this game, armor class, the lower is better. I think that's a Dungeons & Dragons custom. So right now we have an AC of 5. It was 6 a second ago. If we can get that as low as possible, that's fine. It's definitely possible to get well into the negatives, and that's what you should be aiming for by the end of the game. Alright, well, one thing we didn't forget about is that there's a shop right over here. Hey, dog. Alright, so this is interesting. Some might say that this is a tedious part of the game. And I would say, what did it do? Yeah? Alright, so I think it's kind of fun. It is a little bit tedious. This is one thing I was worried about. You know, recording NetHack, I was like, okay, this is a little bit dodgy. We're going to have to do some pretty grindy stuff sometimes just to have a chance to win. Cool, we're experience 3, though. And one of them is you can use your dog to steal stuff from shops. All the stuff you want. So here, like this dog, if we get this dog to come back to us. Oh, see, look, yeah, here you go. He dropped the scroll out here. The dogs can pick up stuff from shops and just drop them outside, and that means that you can just get infinite free stuff from shops, whatever you can convince your dog to get for you. So, like, this is great. We got a new scroll. I'm going to read it as soon as the dog leaves. You're a very loyal dog, Brutus, but we're going to read this scroll first. As we read the scroll, it disappears, so it must have been create monsters, so you created this iguana next to us, which is a little bit tricky, but nothing we can't handle, especially with Brutus. Eyeing the situation cautiously from the wings. Brutus, get back in here. Oh, it's a mimic. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's just a small mimic, though. I think we're okay to deal with them because mimics are extremely slow. If I just go 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, hit, step. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2, wait for him to come. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, 2. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing about mimics. They can grab you and keep you close, but if you know the trick to them, they're not tough at all. You know, they'll just sit there. You also really shouldn't eat a mimic corpse because it'll just turn you into a pile of gold, which is pretty hilarious. Brutus can eat it for some reason. He's immune to it because he's just a cool dog. Pick up a scroll. Good. Brutus, do it. Brutus, come here. Brutus, it is your destiny. Come here. Help me steal these scrolls as quickly as possible. We could, of course, just buy these scrolls. Brutus, did you do it? Did you get the target? Brutus, this is a sensitive operation. That's cursed, so he won't pick that one up. Brutus picked that one up. All right, come on, Brutus, you got this. We gotta leave. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, shopkeeper. We've got places to be. Brutus, did you drop it? Brutus, you should have dropped it. Oh, he did drop it. Good job, Brutus. And you know what? I'm going to throw him a tripe ration. We have 2 tripe rations. So let's throw him a tripe ration for that. Tripe ration is basically dog treat. And if your dog steals stuff from a store, then you can use tripe rations to like reward that through some like positive reinforcement Pavlovian training. Isn't that wild? But it's cool. It's the thing that you can do in this game. Yeah, my dog loves me. Get away from me for a second though, because I'd rather read this scroll out in the open here, just in case it's scroll of earth and I make a mess. Dog, step away from me though, just in case it's scroll of earth and I make a mess. All right, my hands begin to glow red. Yeah, that's intuitive, right? What does that mean? Oh, my hands start to glow red. What does that mean? Obviously, it's confused monster. What, don't you know nothing about NetHack? Your hands glow red? It's very confusing. I'd be confused if I saw your hands start to glow red. Alright, if I went to just go order a sandwich at Subway and you were there and your hands started glowing red, I would be confused. It would definitely be out of my normal routine. Always got a spell book. Come on, Brutus, bring me the spell book. I would train you to bring me a spell book. Come on, you smart lad. Oh, he dropped it. You gonna get it though? Did you pick something else up? Brutus. Alright, Brutus, we're gonna do this together, you and me. And we're not gonna do this for too much longer. But this is what I'm talking about, you know, I mean, this game is arguably... Oh, great, Brutus, you dropped it in the perfect place. So that's great, and I'm going to throw you my other tripe ration just to get him as tame as possible and loyal as possible. Good, smart dog. Throw you the other tripe ration. Nice. And we've got that other scroll there. Cool. You going to drop something else? Oh, you got other stuff going on up here. Oh, he killed a lichen, which is nice because he's vegetarian. He doesn't want to eat it. So, come on, Brutus, you got more stuff going on? Yeah, come on over here. Oh, he's dropping confused monsters, so he picked up another one of those at least. That's pretty useful. And a spell book. I just really want to see that spell book, right? You got it, right, Brutus? You did it. Brutus got the spell book all the way out, I think. Dropped the spell book. Perfect. Alright, that might be good enough. We can pick up some of these and see if they're interesting enough. Cursed Scroll of Enchant Armor. Well, that's hardly interesting at all. Although we could, you know, use our holy water to bless it. That's the whole point of holy water. That's what you can do with holy water, basically, is make cursed stuff uncursed. Make regular stuff blessed, if you want to. Our dog is super tame now. You see how good he is at stealing stuff? So that's a pretty cool demonstration of that, at least. Alright, we might be nearly done. Let's read our scrolls. Mace glows blue. Alright, so we've got a better enchanted mace now. That's pretty neat. I'm just worried one of these is going to be fire and burn all my books. Stinking cloud. Now we don't need a stinking cloud right now. That's a cool sort of area effect spell you can do to do interesting things. Clear out clouds, but we don't need to do that right now. And our last scroll is identify. Okay, so we've got identify going on here. We could identify our gloves. We could identify one of our books. I guess let's identify our new book. Spellbook of Invisibility. I think it's rather high level. So maybe we'll hang on to it and just probably drop it in some sort of book stash eventually. Hey, look, another dog. We could have another dog, but I think one dog is plenty. I don't care about this other rando dog. I mean, we've got Brutus, the wonder dog. And, oh, yeah, this dog is neutral anyway. So, Brutus, if you want to go scrap it with that other dog, that's fine. Brutus is killed? Brutus, what have you done? What did I tell you about fighting with the other dogs? I told you. I always was telling Brutus. Brutus, be careful. You know, the other dogs will tear you apart. That's unfortunate. I wish we had another one of those tripe rations. I had Brutus so well trained too. Alright, well, so much for learning anymore, or stealing anymore from the shops. I guess that put quite an end to that. But it's good. It's okay. The reason why you mostly want to have your dog around is for stealing from shops. And also... Oh, whoops. Come on. Yeah, alright. Stealing from shops and testing whether things are cursed. And, you know, we already have got part of that in the bag. You know, half of that in the bag. Being the priest that we are, we can just take one good look at something and know if it's cursed. Uh-oh. That was a huge mistake. I accidentally attacked a floating eye. I did not mean to do that. That's about the worst thing you can do in Dungeon Crawl is just mindlessly tap towards a floating eye. Those guys will freeze you in place, as you probably saw. It would have been very possible for a monster to sneak up behind me and kill me right now, so I'm lucky that that didn't happen. Don't ever just randomly attack floating eyes. The real way that we're going to deal with this guy is actually with Force Bolt. Oh, I forgot Force Bolt because of the Scroll of Amnesia. So excuse me, floating eye. They won't actually do anything to you. I'm just going to sit here and just read my Spellbook of Force Bolt. And now I'm going to test my newfound knowledge on you. Spell hits the floating eye, didn't quite kill him. Spell hits the floating eye, didn't quite kill him. Yes, we did quite kill him that time. And you might ask, well, if they're so dangerous and annoying and they don't actually hurt you, what's the point of killing them? And the answer is because they leave delicious corpses, which taste terrible, yes, but they also, hey, don't interrupt me. I'm going to finish eating this. Finish eating the floating eye corpse. I feel a strange mental acuity. Ah, that's interesting. That's one of the few ways in the game that you can get ESP. Oh, okay, so good. Now we can, do you see that we can fuse that iguana with our glowing red hands? Still pretty confusing to me. And, well, we're a little bit low in the food department right now. We're weak and we don't want to pass out. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just pray. Pray for food. Yeah, pray to Bridget. Hey, Bridget, what's up? It's been a while. I'm a priest. I gotta pray. You know, this is just me doing my thing. And hey, if you want to fill up my stomach at the same time, loaves and fishes sort of situation, I'm all about that. You know, I'm all about divine satiation. That's the most delicious kind of satiation. It really feels you feeling good. Here's a shrieker, which is pretty worthless. It's just going to shriek and possibly alert monsters to our location. But it didn't. It also, unfortunately, didn't leave a corpse because that would have been a great way to get some poison resistance. So it can give you a chance to get poison resistance if you eat the corpse. And poison resistance is important, obviously, like in every game ever. Food ration is a little bit of delicious food, so next time we won't have to pray to Bridget necessarily. I mean, I appreciate the divine satiation. It's really satisfying, but you also can't be leaning on your God too much. Prayer is sort of like your get-out-of-free card in this game, and it takes some getting used to. You forget about it for a while. But if you haven't prayed in a while and you're about to die, you should definitely pray, because your God will get your hit points back. It'll heal you of illness or, any sort of thing that's going to kill you probably. But you can't pray like twice in a row, Obviously your God gets annoyed and it's like, hey, well, show a little independence, a little initiative, do something for yourself for once, and then they won't heed your plea. Here's a brown mold. We killed the brown mold. Unfortunately, no corpse from that either, though, because I was sort of hoping that we might be able to get something like cold resistance. Those guys, yeah, they hit cold at you. It's one of those games, you know. I mean, monsters that are cold themed, if you eat their corpses, you're probably going to get cold resistance. Here's a centipede. That's actually cool too. If you want to leave me a corpse, I'd be all about that. I think he can poison me as well. Alright, you can see this is starting to get a little dangerous. I can't easily take down this centipede. He knocked off 6 of my life. Okay, well, there's no corpse. I think that's another candidate for eating in order to get poison resistance as well. And some corpses are just dangerous to eat. You know, some will just poison you. Some will poison you and give you a chance for poison resistance, so it's a little bit of a trade-off. We have a cursed ring that we're not going to put on. We'll just carry it around, though, in case we can identify it later. We'll put on this uncursed ring, though, topaz ring. I'm not sure what it did, but we can check it out later. And here's a wand. That's interesting. Wands are pretty cool in this game. There's lots of stuff wands can do. And how are we going to test to see what it is? Well, I'll tell you how you test what wands are in this game. You engrave. Alright, get ready for another extremely intuitive part of this game. I'm going to engrave on the ground with my fingers in the dust the word Elbereth with a capital E. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Now, this is one of the spoilery parts of this game, and perhaps one of the more questionable parts of this game. If you engrave the word Elbereth in the floor, monsters won't attack you for the most part. So it's a good. That's another get out of jail free card. If you know about that, you're already leagues ahead of most NetHack players. And I mean, it was a secret for a long time until eventually they like made it so it was like a part of the game. And so they, you know, you have to know it now. Whoops! I accidentally clicked on the screen, and we accidentally went catapulting forward. Being able to click on the screen like that and go from place to place is pretty cool. There's no sort of like auto explore button or whatever. None of those quality of life improvements that Dungeon Crawl offers. So, you know, being able to click at least and be able to get from one place to another is actually kind of nice. Here's a plate mail. We could consider putting on the plate mail, but with only strength 13, and also we have ambitions to be able to cast these spells sometimes, I think we're going to pass on the plate mail. It might improve our survivability, actually, but... Oh, Weird Jackal. Yikes. Let's be careful about this. Alright, this Weird Jackal, you can see, did quite a bit of damage. Changed into a Jackal. His armor fell off. That's good. He's going to bite us, but it's possible that he might consider turning us into a Weird Jackal ourselves, you know? As lycanthropic beings have a tendency to do. Made it up to level 6, though. A little bit of scale mail. Again, I think it's going to be just a little bit heavy for us. If we found some leather armor or something, I'd be definitely interested in that. Even some mithril or something, I'd put it on. Potion of unholy water. We'll carry it around. We can bless it just the same as regular water. Or sometimes it's actually useful to have cursed things for various niche applications, which are all extremely obvious. Here's the way down to the next place, but, you know, in typical roguelike fashion, I think it's usually best. Yeah, it's rotten, but it doesn't matter too much, just confuse us a little bit. You should generally clear out floors right before you go down to the next floor. The fact that we lost our pet is kind of a big deal. I lost my pet earlier than I wanted to, because the other thing about pets is they can actually become quite powerful. They can save your butt sometimes. A lot of times in the beginning of the game, your pet is more powerful than you are, and, you know, helping you win fights that would otherwise kill you. And it also helps you keep your experience down a little bit. You know, I mean, you don't want necessarily to spike up to experience level 10 right away, because that means that more dangerous monsters are going to spawn. And if we don't have the equipment to be able to deal with that, we might be in a tricky spot. Let's head over here. Nice. Kobold coming at us. Definitely... Okay, there's a polearm. I've heard it said that priests can use polearms pretty well. What if I were to take this polearm and wield it? Oh, I've got a shield. Never mind. We'll stick with this mace. We got a blessed +2 mace. It's going to carry us through until we find what we need. And what's in here? Is this a weapon shop? It's an antique weapons outlet. What do you mean by antique? The leather armor, blessed lance is pretty cool. If we were a knight, we would definitely be interested in that. Some silver arrows. Walking shoes we'll put on and check it out. Cursed crossbow. You see there's a mimic right there. We'll probably kill it in a second. A crude dagger named Grimtooth. That seems interesting, but I don't think it's anything that we really necessarily need. Boomerang is pretty cool. Combat boots also interesting, worth checking out. You could and pair of jack boots. So there's a couple of interesting pairs of boots in here, which we could probably just buy if they're worth buying. And there's one pair of boots that you really want in this game. Let's see if we can find it. It's not going to be this one. It only costs $10. 21 for this. Alright, so yeah, that's not going to be it either, unfortunately. And what was this other one? Combat boots. Yeah, this is more like it. $66. See, these shopkeepers know what's up. You know, they'll charge you more for good stuff. And you can use that to your advantage if you sort of know. I mean, you got to know what you're looking for. But, yeah, this pair of boots is definitely better. If we put it on, I feel myself speed up. Yes. Thank you, Dungeon Crawl. Thank you, NetHack. Sorry, NetHack. I didn't mean to call you by the wrong name. Whoa, yeah, I mean, been in bed with Dungeon Crawl for a little too long here. Forgot about NetHack, my original true love. But yeah, I mean, we got ourselves speed boots, which is amazing. We are speedy now, which is definitely something that a priest was lacking. We don't have intrinsic speed, and having speed boots allows us to get very fast, which is really, 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 really nice. Being able to be fast in a game is obviously important. Yeah, I mean, you ever played roguelike before? If you're fast, it's good. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to check out what my wand was. I got some completely derailed. I should check out my wand in a second. But we could attack these mimics. I'm gonna be faster than them now anyway. I might even be able to get more hits in. Let's try. I mean, why not? Let's kill this mimic. It's a small mimic coming at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel agile because for no reason. I've just been feeling good beating up mimics. I also feel more confident in my weapon skills. I'm gonna enhance it. I'll enhance my mace skills. Eventually, I'm not gonna stick with this mace forever. We need to find a better artifact weapon eventually. But for now, I'm feeling good about that. Also, let's just keep up with our spell casting. Let's just cast detect monsters every once in a while. Okay, there's some lizards and nymphs and floating eyes, and there's a pudding over there. The pudding is actually the thing that I like the least, but knowing Force Bolt is nice for dealing with annoying pudding-type monsters like that. Okay. Let's kill this other mimic, because sure, why not? 2, 3, 4, step. We can even get more hits in. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we killed him anyway. And nothing else that we really wanted to buy here. There's some cool weapons and whatever. But I will pay you, sir, gladly for these speed boots. And I'll be on my way. That's end-level equipment right there. You know, that's the thing about NetHack. You never know when you're going to find, like, part of your end-game equipment, like, right now. I mean, here we are on Dungeon Level 4. I already have speed boots, which I could be theoretically wearing until the end of the game. I could bless them, I could enchant them up, but, you know, I mean, just having this extra speed is really, really important to me. We're also going to cast Force Bolt at this pudding because I'm a little afraid that it'll rot our stuff. Yeah, I killed the use, but whatever. It didn't leave a corpse. I'm pretty sure those guys have got useful corpses sometimes, so it might have been nice. Stagger, 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 stagger. I get it. I get it. I could use Force Bolt against him too, but I kind of like staggering around like that. Sort of like a touch, fuzzy, get dizzy type situation. Okay. So we're good here, right? We spent some money on some speed boots. When do I want to cut this video exactly? I just wanted to sort of make sure this character had some legs on him. Let's see if we can get down to the Oracle and maybe call it a video there. So let's head down this way. I don't necessarily want to go over near what that floating eye was. We already have ESP. We haven't exactly seen that in action yet, I don't think. But we will eventually. They say that a something nymph, a plain nymph, will only fear a wire ring in one car. I don't get that one. I don't get it. We're going to ignore that. If you know what that means, write in, let me know. Here's Gnome Lord. It's a little bit tricky, but we killed him in 2 shots. No problem. Now let's check out what our wand is because it could be really useful. So yeah, all right. So first step, engrave in the dust with your fingers. And then second step is engrave with the wand because generally engraving with the wand will give you a clue about what it is. Do I want to add to the current engraving? Yes. Write in the dust with the platinum wand. What do I want to write? Elbereth. The bugs on the floor slow down. All right. Well, so obviously what we're dealing with here is a a wand of slow monster, which is cool. You know, we can use that to slow down monsters if they're giving us trouble, I guess. I don't think it's going to be that relevant. It's not nearly the most powerful wand that we could have found, but it's not nearly the worst either. Alright, up to experience level 7. Feeling great about that. Got ourselves some speed boots. And going down through the dungeon here. Alright, so what do we got going on here? More lizards. Yeah, hit that lizard. Okay, that lizard is there. And here's a lizard corpse. I'm going to actually take this lizard corpse with me for, again, reasons that you probably don't need to concern yourself with. But, I mean, lizard corpses, for some reason, don't rot, and they're useful for dealing with petrification. Now you know. Here's a potion. It's not cursed. I would say sort of the inverse of how Dungeon Crawl works. In this game, scrolls are much more dangerous to just read ID than potions. In potions, you can just quaff potions most of the time, so long as they're not cursed. So we're just going to quaff this potion and see what happens. I turn into a Yeti! Oh no! My robe tears apart. I'm glad it did not tear apart my boots. So, wow, alright, disregard that. That was mostly fine. I should have taken off my robe, though. Okay, we turned into a Yeti temporarily. That's a little exciting. But I lost my robe. I really don't like that. Food ration. This is pretty cool being a Yeti, though. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, Dungeon Crawl has got a lot more flexible polymorphs. Or, yeah, Dungeon Crawl. Again, I'm saying Dungeon Crawl. NetHack has got a lot more flexible polymorph system than Dungeon Crawl. Oh, what? I returned to human form right at the last moment. I get to fight this Roth. Roth. Roths are pretty dangerous. They attack really fast. I mean, my AC is not that terrible. I'm just a little annoyed because, well, it was affecting my spellcasting. I guess my spellcasting is still fine if I don't have any armor, but it also was +1. It was a nice robe. I had that robe from the beginning. It was Beauregard's favorite robe, and now it's gone forever. Yeah, we could try to get another one of those sexy succubi around here. We also could drop this ring down the drain. Let's just drop this cursed ring down the drain and see what happens. Drop a cursed granite ring down the drain. The sink momentarily looks like a fountain. Okay. So I think that's probably a ring of polymorph. Speaking of how much polymorph there is in this game. That's a little bit of a shame that we lost that now, but maybe we'll recognize it again in the future. You know, it's better to have it identified, I think, because, you know, being able to polymorph into stuff is pretty neat. You know, we polymorphed into a Yeti. That was kind of cool. But imagine, you know, there's lots of crazy monsters in this game. Imagine if you could polymorph into lots of them that have lots of different cool abilities. There's no limit to what you can do. So, cool. I also got to have in mind to just drop my other one down the drain. That topaz ring I'm wearing, and I don't really know what it does. Let's take that off. Topaz ring, drop it down the drain. The sink seems to blend into the floor for a moment, so I think that means it's probably a stealth ring, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked to have had that one too, but again, I'm happier to know. We could also kick the sink until more rings come up. Sure, let's do that. The dishwasher is back. All right, so it's another succubus. Hello, succubus. PG-13, mild sexual themes. Very attracted to succubus. I don't even have a robe this time. I burst out of it when I turned into a Yeti. Should I remove you my boots? No! Those are my speed boots. I prefer to do it with the boots on. Take off the gloves. They're too clumsy. Fine. Take off the shield. It's in the way. Fine. Let's see. Did we get lucky? I seem to have enjoyed it more than the succubus. Ha! Take that. I feel good enough to do it again. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think it means that I exercised my strength or something like that, or my constitution. Yeah, maybe my constitution went up. We'll wear our armor again, and maybe get out of here before we push our luck too much like that. Yeah, my charisma and intelligence is not that good. Maybe someday later if we can get up our stats a little bit. Here's a regular wolf, more dangerous than a jackal. But we killed it, and there's a wolf corpse. Finished eating it, though. Cursed crude arrows, probably not something that we're really interested in. Oh, hello. No! The speed boots never come off. Take off the gloves, take off everything else, but not the boots. Alright, come on, good rolls. Yes! Rolled the dice, rolled the sex dice, and it was very much my favor. We got a level up. Cool, got to level 8. Oh, and she took all my money. That's a shame. I sort of wanted that money. I should have dropped it or something, but I forgot about that. So, oh well. A succubus took all our money, but $438 for a level up, that's a pretty good deal. I'll take that. That's honestly one of the best ways to get a level up in this game, which is a little weird, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, this game doesn't make any sense. Like, the only way to level up effectively in this game is to have sex with demons. The succubus acts as if she's got a headache. So I don't think she wants to do it anymore. I don't know if that's a permanent situation. I know these guys get permanently, you know, turned off eventually if you mess with them too much, if you get too favorable rolls with the sex dice. If they get good rolls with the sex dice, they'll come right back at you. But I think what we're going to do, yeah, so the succubus feels like she's got a headache. we can take out a succubus. I think. Let's just put on our shield real quick. Just to make sure. Yeah, we'll put on our gloves. If you want to seduce me and take them off again. Succubus re-scroll, create monster. That's crazy. Okay, so the succubus has got backup somehow. I underestimated you. Hit the dwarf zombie. Yeah, I'd rather take out these dwarf zombies first. I'm a little bit faster than these guys, I think, and they're not doing that much damage. I still got a good prayer in me, too, if I need it. But I killed the succubus, which is good, because I wanted my money back. $438 of mine. Thank you. You know, it diminishes the experience if I have to pay for it. Succubus. Don't you know anything? Paper golem. Alright, well, that's maybe one of the least dangerous golems that there is. But still worth looking at, and it's got made out of unlabeled scrolls. Which is neat. Yeah, as I said, you can take your junk scrolls, turn them into unlabeled scrolls, and then later, if you get a magic marker, you can write your own scrolls, which is pretty cool. And what have we here? Some sort of altar, anything interesting. It is an altar to Lugh, lawful god here, which is lawful. That's just positively lawful. I don't think there's much we can do about that. We can try to convert the altar, but it's probably not worth it. It would just be better if we found one of our own. If we found a neutral altar, that's definitely one thing you can do to get ahead in this game, is sacrifice things to your god. Kill the jackals, kill the jackal, a little bit of jackal meat here. Yeah, you see those messages about the guard on patrol too. There's random messages about stuff happening on the level. That means that there's like a treasure vault around here somewhere. That yellow light is probably going to explode and blind us, which is annoying, but not that annoying. It'll go away in a second. I'd still rather it didn't happen. Yeah. Oh, it's a dog. Do I have any tripe rations, anything I can throw towards it? Does it like to eat lizard corpses? I think it just might get offended if I threw a lizard corpse in its face. But, yeah, I think any respectable dog would like to eat a lizard corpse. Especially if it's one of these magic ones that never goes rotten. Here's an eye. Make sure we don't touch the eye, because I guarantee you, if I touch that eye, if I so much as glance at that eye the wrong way, he's going to come and, you know, he's going to paralyze me. That dog's going to come and do us in the most embarrassing way possible. Right after I got my speed boots. All the speed boots in the world won't help you if you're standing there paralyzed, dumbfounded in place by an eyeball staring at you. It's really an undignified way to go. So, what else do we got here? What's going on here? Is that a Yeti? I remember when I was a Yeti. Maybe you can smell it on us. This Yeti is looking a little bit dangerous, but there we go. Yeah, we can stop eating that Yeti corpse. And what is that? A straw golem, I hope? Not a, yeah, it's a straw golem, which is dangerous. Let's go ahead and just cast detect monsters here. Interesting. Shopkeeper over there, probably. Yeah, we don't need to eat the rest of that Yeti corpse. Yeah, no other monsters on the level so far, but they'll get generated. Cloudy potion is interesting. Interesting enough to quaff right away. Alright, well, we got polymorph out of the way. We can't bust out of our armor anymore. Cloudy potions are particularly interesting because they might have a genie inside. Nope, we just sense the presence of objects. There's a bunch of potions in there. That's pretty cool. Also a whole bunch of gold around. We're getting pretty rich. Yeah. Alright, let's go check out if there's anything in this potion shop. I don't know if there's anything I would want to buy, really. Dark potion, potions, potions, potions. We can just quaff them all and then not pay. That would be a little ridiculous, though. Like, some of them are way better than others, but I don't have time for that. We don't need to identify all these potions. Let's just get a move on. Maybe I'll come back to you later if I have the ability to kill you or something. Just murder them. That's why we're neutral priests. If you're a lawful priest, you have to worry a little bit more about murdering people and whatever. Nah, I don't care that much. It's for the greater good. You know, true neutral. Potion buried in the rock over there? Or, no, it's just in here. Oh, blessed black potion. Let's go ahead and quaff that right now. What did it do? It gave me the ability to detect monsters, I believe. So I'm detecting monsters sort of on a semi-permanent basis, at least for a little while here. Right? Yeah, is that what that means? These guys are coming at me eventually. I'm not sure if there's anything else over here. There might be... I mean, there's gold in the walls and stuff. Gold in the vaults. But let's just keep on our way. I don't think there's too much else for us on this floor. Some floors you get speed boots, some floors you get nothing. That's just the way it works. Sometimes on all the floors you get nothing. But, you know, okay, here we are. Here, we made it to the Oracle. Hit the dwarf money, hit the dwarf mummy. The cursed mummy wrapping. We don't need no cursed mummy wrapping. We might prefer to have a regular mummy wrapping. Hit the little dog. Alright, well, let's not die right here at the Oracle. Just wait for these guys. The little dog is going to die. No Mord is going to die. Taking out normal no Mords like that means that maybe it's our cue to go and check out the gnomish mines. Really attack the little dog? Alright, that little dog is peaceful. That little dog is kind of a bro. It's possible we could get that little dog on our side if we get more tripe rations. We could tame ourselves another pet, but I don't know if I really want to. If we're going to have another pet, we should have a cool pet. We should get another pet that's not just a dog. You can get a pet anything in this game, basically. Hello, Beauregard. Welcome to Delphi. This is the Oracle of Delphi. She just sort of chills in here next to these fountains and does some stuff, whatever oracles do, predicts the future. If you want, you can talk to her, and she'll give you, like, predictions, which are, like, little hints about this game. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't need it right now, necessarily. Sky Blue Potion, is it worth identifying? I think I'll just hang on to this identify until I get something that I can't identify just by quaffing it. Let's quaff the Sky Blue Potion. Tastes like slime mold juice. Alright, time to drop one more bombshell on you. Slime mold, by the way, is just sort of the generic fruit in this game. So this could definitely be fruit juice. But there's an equal possibility that it's the potion of See Invisible. Makes perfect sense. See Invisible tastes like slime mold. It's made with slime mold. It's an important alchemical ingredient. So that explains why they taste similar. You know, it would taste, take a discriminating palate. Scroll of Enchant Weapon. Now that's interesting. We could get our mace better. I'm sort of hoping that we might have a better weapon eventually, so I sort of want to hang on to it for a second. Interesting. A Cursed Scroll of Create Monster. I think that's kind of an interesting thing to do. I don't remember exactly what that does, but maybe it's worth hanging on to. It's worth just keeping these junk scrolls. As I said, like these fountains here, for example. We can just dunk these things. Here's a ring. Pearl ring. Not cursed. Put it on. What is it? I don't know. Convulsive Ravings. I think that's the Oracle doing her thing. Let's go ahead and just identify it. What is it? Pearl ring. Ring of Conflict. Whoa, I'm glad I sort of identified that one now. But believe it or not, a Ring of Conflict is also endgame quality equipment. Seriously, this is the ring that we want. Like, I'm glad I didn't just drop this stone down a sink, actually. Because Ring of Conflict, basically what it does is make all of the monsters, within reason, attack each other. So, it's crazy. I mean, you know, all these peaceful things that are normally peaceful towards you, like the amulet might even, or the oracle might even start attacking me. Or shopkeepers start attacking you, or normally peaceful, law-abiding citizens just start punching each other on the streets. It's crazy. And when you're dealing with huge crowds of monsters, it's one of the best ways to deal with huge crowds of monsters is by having a Ring of Conflict that you can wear. So I'm really glad we have this. I'm really glad we have a Ring of Conflict. I'm really glad we have our speed boots. And I'm really glad that we at least made it this far, you know. I mean, there's probably some rule of thumb about NetHack where it's like, you know, if you make it this far, you probably should be able to win the game. I doubt it because there's a lot of ways that I could die. But I am pretty pleased that we didn't just bite it right away. You know, that would have been kind of embarrassing. I consider this to be a good, solid, healthy video introduction to this NetHack series. You know, I don't want to say beginner's luck, but, you know, beginner's luck. Somebody's digging through. I think there's a mole about digging there. Hey, what's that guy? Are you angry? Nah, he's my bro. He's a Naga hatchling. He's just chilling near the Oracle. He wants to be an Oracle someday, too. How about you? You are not my bro, crocodile. Destroy all crocodiles. Yeah. You can see maybe we need a little bit better armor. We need a little bit of a better weapon. Honestly, this is not going to scale well as we go later into the game. Those are my concerns. I mean, we basically have no armor right now at all. So we're going to have to figure that out. But we will in the next video. So, I hope you enjoyed. I'm not sure how long this video series is going to last or how many of these NetHack playthroughs I'm going to do. Maybe just the one. But I hope you're enjoying regardless, and I will see you next time.